All right. Cool. And I'm going to share it with each of you.
Jen,
Go ahead.
Yes?
do you want us to be off screen before you introduce us?
No, not necessarily. It's pretty informal.
All right.
Okay.
But that way I don't get to get on my Carmen Miranda outfit.
Oh, well, go get your Carmen Miranda outfit if you feel like that's important.
We rented Elton John's duck costume, but Eric tried it on, but he couldn't sit down. So
It was
maybe-
difficult.
yeah,
I don't know how Elton did it.
he doesn't either. I'm reading his autobiography right now, and he said that was one of the stupider things he ever did.
I agree. I think the duck costume was definitely one of the stupider things that Elton John ever did.
Bob Mackey designed it for him.
Did he really?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's a
It took
little
him-
out of his...
It took him so long to get it on. He said they almost thought the concert was over and there wasn't going to be an encore. And then when he finally managed to get it on and get out there, he realized he couldn't sit down.
Oh, it was not for the whole show. It was just
No,
for
it
the
was,
encore.
yeah.
A costume change. Hey, Rick. So Rick is an integral part of this show, and it looks like he's in business, although there's bloody hands everywhere. What he does is he puts up backgrounds that go with your song, which is very entertaining. So we're happy to see you here, Rick.
Well, how does that? Don't we have to put up backgrounds from our end? How does that work?
No,
He
it's
just
only
does
for
it.
me.
Yeah, he just does it in his
Oh.
square, which is why I leave it on gallery view for the whole show.
So everybody
Yeah.
can get the benefit of Rick's
Yeah,
behaviors.
yeah.
I like it. All right.
Okay, so we are now streaming, and I'm going to go ahead and start the recording because since I told you, I'm going to remember it. Yes, I know, I did that. You have to push OK on your screen, otherwise you can't see anything along the top. Okay, so here we go. Welcome to Any Sunday Songwriters, which you may have noticed it's not Sunday, and that has to do with the expected eclipse, because I am, and everybody around me, physically around me, is under the path of totality for Monday, which may or may not mean that we can see the eclipse, because we also have overcast skies, and that's what they're predicting for Monday. So it'll get dark. We won't know why. Yeah.
That is so sad. That is. So
I know.
Sad. It's just
And-
wrong.
I quite agree. My first question was, okay, who did we piss off and how do we appease them? But no, it's not that. It's just the luck of the draw. But we'll see. I mean, maybe the clouds will part and the angels will sing just at the right moment. We'll see. If not, everybody around me will get to hear me bitch about it, but it's unfair to complain when they're all in the same boat. Anyway, my guests today are our veteran, returning for the third time, Eric Schwartz, who is in Massachusetts, and I'm so looking forward to hearing what new he has on offer and to hear some of my old favorites again. And our other guest is Diane Battistello, and this is her first time here. And she is also in Massachusetts, not California like I thought. However, before this show is over, I'm sure we're going to end up being at least coast to coast between ourselves and the guests, and possibly international, depending on who in Israel or the UK remembers that we're going to do this today. And that's really all I have to say on the matter. Eric, would you like to kick us off? Tell us a little about yourself and sing us a song.
Oh my. So you know what? I think I'm in Massachusetts. I am currently in my last month, really, of my graduate program at Lesley University for mental health counseling and music therapy. And so that is my current situation in terms of my personality, in terms of my ethos, in terms of just who I am, I'm just going to let this song do the talking. How's that? If you want to go to heaven, take the high road. If you want to walk beside me, take the low. 'Cause I've seen the kind of folks that get to heaven. They're the kind of folks that I don't want to know. Now Jesus may be selling you salvation, but Beelzebub's a better alibi. And you don't hear too much laughing on the high road. And I'd rather do some living before I die. Well, they will tell you every soul can get to heaven. Most of the time your mind is pointing south. So if you want to make it on the high road, well, it's better not to open up your mouth. 'Cause I've done a lot of trying on the high road, but all it ever felt like was a lie. And they say lying is a sin, so they'd never let me in. I'd rather do some living before I die. Don't count me out, don't count me out. I got a plan, I got a plan. Well, I'm seeking dispensation from the guy who minted man. 'Cause nothing can be right if there ain't no nothing wrong. And whoever penned the testaments, well, they also wrote this song. And so I got myself a guru at the ashram, and he told me that my karma's coming back, and I just might live my next life as a lemur after my Bacardi heart attack. Now the high road, it may lead you to nirvana, yeah, but meditating ain't my cup of chai. And they tell me Hare Krishna won't grant my kind of wish. No, I would rather do some living before I die. Oh yeah, I'd rather do some living before I die. Thank you.
Bravo, and me too. So, Diane, your turn. Tell us a bit about yourself and sing us a song.
Hi, Jan. Thanks for having me today. This is a great show you have going on. I'm going to do some songs today from my new CD called Introverts Buffet, and it was some songs that came to me during COVID. I'm an introvert, and when they said to me, you have to stay home for 3 years, I'm like, yes, bring it on. So I am going to do some songs from that, but this first one talks about the baby boomers starting to limp a little when we walk, right? My feet hurt, my knees don't work. I'm gonna throw my mirror out. I creak and I crack, got an achy back. What is this all about? Age is catching up with me. I will not go there gracefully, no, no, no. I will not go there gracefully, 'cause I don't want to, no. I'm counting sheep, I cannot sleep. There's ringing in my ears, and won't you help me, please? Help me find my keys. I thought I left them on the table right here, but age is catching up with me. And I will not go there gracefully, no, no, no. I will not go there gracefully, 'cause I don't want to. The saying goes that youth is wasted on the young. But if only I could go back there, I'd do some of the things I could have done. Now the years spin past much too fast. My brown hair's turned all gray. I try to do things I used to do. Sometimes I have to turn and walk away. 'cause age is catching up with me. I will not go there gracefully, no, no, no. I will not go there gracefully, 'cause I don't want to, no.
Brava.
Thank you.
Yeah, I listened to your album yesterday.
Thank
I
you.
loved it. I loved it.
Thanks, Jan.
So I'm going to take this to the ultimate place where it goes. I will not be leaving without a struggle. No one will have to say, don't go gently to that good night. I'll be kicking and screaming and hanging on to the door jambs, protesting all the way that I'm not done with this life. I want to see peace. I want to see joy. I want to hear the truth without the noise. I want to see justice with my own eyes. And then I'll be ready and I'll say goodbye. Nah. I believe Moses looked like Charlton Heston, and I believe he had a word with God. All I want to know is, when is it my turn? 'Cause I'm thinking miracles can't be all that hard. I want to see peace. I want to see joy. I want to hear the truth without the noise. I want to see justice with my own eyes. And then I'll be ready and I'll say goodbye. I want to see the face of peace. I want to hear the voice of truth. I want to know that dream is real, and then I'll make that choice. I want to see peace. I want to see joy. I want to hear the truth, but hold the noise. I want to see justice with my own eyes, and then I'll be ready and I'll say goodbye, and then I'll be ready. No.
Bye.
Bye. Wait, is that a hint?
No.
All right.
So we're
That
just
was
going to keep
great.
doing this round and round until they make us go away.
All right. So like I said, I am in the middle of a master's, or at the end of a master's program, and it's a very arts-based program. So we would get assignments like, do an artistic representation of your vision of an important aspect, quality for a therapist to have. And so I wrote a song that is my artistic representation of empathy. So that is the following song. Here we go. It started as a promise. It wound up as a lie. Now you're waltzing with a question. Do you kill or do you cry? You settled on forgetting. You're much too tired for bed. Rest your head on my shoulder. Rest your head. The snow outside is melting, but the ice remains within. holding down the fortress, but your armor's wearing thin. Your soul is on the corner, begging for some bread. Rest your head on my shoulder, rest your head. Rest your head, rest your head. Don't be scared, don't be proud. Won't you lay your burden down? And when you're ready to face the day, pick yourself up and be on your way. But I'm always beside you, so don't you forget. Rest your head on my shoulder, rest your head on my shoulder, rest your head, rest your head.
What a beautiful
Very
song.
sweet, yes.
Thank you.
Did you put that out as a video on Facebook? Am
I did
remember?
a while. I don't know, a couple years ago.
I
maybe?
saw it when you first did it, and it just warmed my heart.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for doing it here.
Oh, yeah.
Diane.
That was very sweet, Eric.
Thank you.
I'm going to do something silly. And this is the Song Introverts Buffet. And I just was driving down the street, and all of a sudden it was there. So I just went home and wrote it down. Well, I don't care if I can't go out. You won't hear me scream and shout. I will not be walking around with a pout, 'cause I'm at the introverts buffet. You gotta tell me, what's the fuss all about? 'Cause I've been sipping champagne, I've savored porters and stout. I went down to the river, got me a big fat trout. All at the introverts buffet. And I'm happy. Hi, Janet. I'm happy as I can be. Reading my books, I'm watching TV. I'm playing catch with my dog, sitting under the tree. At the introverts buffet. Bum 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 bum. All at the introverts buffet. And I don't have to make excuses for staying home. There's no cross-contamination when you're all alone. I'm at a feast for one, so much fun. All at the introverts buffet. The introverts buffet.
Well, I'm going to do a sad but hopeful one because we lost somebody that was very important in my life this week. Gary Oliver passed with a heart attack about 2 nights ago. Gary Oliver was part owner of the One Night, which if you're old Austin, you would know that name. It was the incubator for people like Jimmy Vaughn and a bunch of other blues musicians, Shiva's Head Band, which Gary told me about when I was in New York. I tell people all the time that I left New York planning to go to San Francisco. That was my goal. And just before, like the night before I left, I met Gary Oliver and the woman he was traveling to Massachusetts with, and he described Austin as if it was paradise. And I thought, well, I'd like to see paradise. So I changed my plan and I came to Austin and stayed. I never did go to San Francisco except as a visitor because it was everything I wanted in a new place to live in so many ways that New York wasn't anymore. For one thing, that was my feeling was it didn't get cold here, but of course the first winter I was here, it snowed for the first time in 17 years. But the thing is, if Gary hadn't said anything, I would have gone to San Francisco and I'd never have known about this. And it is my home. At some point I probably have to leave it, but it's been my home for a very long time now. Well, I consider Gary's loss a major one, and I'm going to dedicate this song to him and to everybody else. An old friend stopped by the other day to open up the closets of the past so skeletons could dance from their hiding place, 'cause change is either here or closing fast. And we walked dense forests of memory, knowing past today we didn't then, and listened to the soft and minor melodies and sang our songs to absent friends. Perhaps they've received their heart's desire, where time's less than a shadow on the wall. And now that they have met the great simplifier, I hope that love's the only memory they recall. And it's funny how we knew when we were children that love has no beginning and no end. And funny how we seem to have forgotten until we speak of absent friends. I so love those dreams we shared together. I so loved our travels on the earth. Perhaps the dreams and travels last forever, as birth and life and death and then rebirth. And maybe one day we'll be reunited. Who knows what the universe intends? So raise your glass, raise your glass, raise your glass to absent friends.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Thanks.
I'm sorry I was running around in the beginning of it. I thought that I was highlighted when you were singing, so I was scrambling trying to figure out how to use this system and let you know that. But so it looked like I was running around. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm glad. But you got it taken care of, and you were on the screen. So never mind. All right. So I'm here at Fox Run Studios, which is in Sudbury, Massachusetts, with Neil Eckstein right there, the maitre d', the wizard, the technical wizard, and this is Neil's place all around. And every year I get together with Neil and Tom Prasada Rao and Matt Nakoa and Jagoda, and we write songs and we shoot video and we put them out on Facebook, and sometimes we make a record. We're actually looking at making a record right now of tunes that we've already done. But anyway, so the Fox Run 5 is what we're called, and this is a song I'm going to try to play. I've never played this on the piano. It's never happened before. So I'm going to do my best for you right now. We were talking about, of course, this is a somewhat divisive subject, but we were talking about the various legal issues that our former president is dealing with right now. And so we wrote the following song based on a line from Saturday Night Live. So let's see if I can possibly work this out on piano. We have known since long ago, people reap what people sow, and evil never triumphs in the end. Good shall always win, ye shall profit not from sin. These are truths on which we could depend. Oh, but maybe that was just some rabbis rapping, 'cause down below I hear the devil laughing. Ain't nothing gonna happen, won't no one get their due. You can greet with wild excitement every new indictment, sure as shit that karma's coming through. Well, ain't nothing gonna happen, ain't no one going down. He could shoot you and me on the streets in the middle of Manhattan, but ain't nothing gonna happen, ain't nothing gonna happen. Hey Neil.
Yeah, Eric.
Have you seen Melania lately?
I can't say that I have.
Well, neither is he. Ain't nothing gonna happen, no justice shall he see. He'll vacation down in Boca and live the vida loca as he grabs the cooch of Lady Liberty. Oh, ain't nothing gonna happen, won't no one go to jail. Hide the nuclear code behind the golden commode and accidentally nuke Geneva while he's crapping, but ain't nothing gonna happen, ain't nothing gonna happen, yeah, nah, nah. Ain't nothing gonna happen, yeah. Ain't nothing gonna happen.
Well, we'll hope.
Yeah, I live in hope you're wrong, Eric.
Me too.
I would just like to say hello to my mother, Claudia, who has just signed on.
Oh,
Hi, Claudia.
hi, Claudia.
All the way from La Quinta, California.
Hi, Claudia.
La Quinta, is it near LA? Is it Southern California?
La Quinta is right near Palm Springs.
Ah, okay. I knew I'd
You're
passed
muted
it.
in case you guys think you're talking. In case you guys think you're being heard, you are muted. Anyway,
Eric, you should get the guy to put some backgrounds up behind you like I am putting behind me. Wouldn't that be cool?
it would. And Neil would be just the guy to figure out how to do that.
Maybe next time.
Here's the problem. If Neil starts putting things behind me, I don't want to see what they're going to be because I don't trust Neil. I know better. Trusting Neil would be dumb because I know Neil and I know that. Yeah. Anyway, he doesn't.
All right, now you really can't put stuff behind you.
That's right.
Okay, so Diane.
You know him too well, right? So this song is called That's What I Like. It was written from a song prompt. I love to write songs from prompts. The prompt I got was Little Egg, and I went home for a little while and I'm like, what the heck do you do with that? But I'm a cook, so I knew exactly it was going to end up in food. The song was going to be about food, or have food in it. Strong coffee when I wake up, thick as molasses, baby, fill my cup. Smooth as sunshine, a joy to wake up to. That's what I like about me and you. Morning's my favorite time of the day. Little egg, little pancakes and marmalade. Sweet, sweet kisses taste a lot like honeydew, and that's what I like about me and you. At times throughout the day, I recall the words you say. Thank my lucky stars that I'm with you. But every now and then I get a feeling things might end. Then you touch my heart and soul, and I'm renewed. Late in the evening when the sun goes down, you and me, baby, out on the town. We got sweet, sweet kisses and a little something taboo, and that's what I like about me and you. Yeah, that's what I like about me and you. Thank you. Thank you.
I gave you some little eggs here to look at.
Oh, cool. Thank
With
you.
a big egg to kind of lord it over 'em.
So I just wanted to say that when I'm looking at the gallery screen, Jen, you were highlighted during the last song, and the gallery screen. And I guess I would ask, is there anybody watching who's just watching speaker view? And I just want to make sure that the right person is being seen during the speaker view. If you're in speaker.
No, Jen hasn't turned to gallery view.
I'm watching it in the gallery view.
Does that mean everybody's watching in the gallery view? If Jan is?
If they're watching on Facebook or YouTube, they are definitely watching in the gallery view because that's what I've got up here. But
Okay,
they
good. I
can
just
change
wanted-
their own if they wish, but I'm not sure why I would end up being the main view when somebody else is singing. That's something Zoom is doing that I apparently either don't have or don't know how to control.
All right. Okay. Just
There's still plenty about Zoom, even after 3.5 years, that I don't know.
It's very fickle.
Yes.
Does what it wants.
Yes. Okay, so I wanted to say hello to Sybil and to Pat, who are watching on Facebook, along with others that I know not of. And hello to everybody here, of course. And thank you all for being here. I know. I like writing from prompts, too, because that means I don't have to think up the idea, although when the ideas come, that's lovely, too. But this was not exactly a prompt. I was doing a bunch of writing for a friend who is very passionate about climate change, and I was adding songs to ideas of his to put on his website about climate change. And he said something about this subject to me, and then 2 more people during the day did. So I decided, yes, that means I should write about it, a song about it. So this is the song. Magnetic fields fight their way across the sky to show us brilliant colors, the northern lights, and we are all reminded the beauty we have here. How fortunate we are to have protective atmosphere, and the home we share, the northern lights remind us, has water and air. Northern lights remind us that there's no guarantee, there's no guarantee. The northern lights remind us, the northern lights remind us. Celestial looms weave the darkness into lights that dance above the planets to dazzle human eyes. And we are all reminded of vast eternity, how fortunate we are, however briefly, just to be. And the home we share, the northern lights remind us, has water and air. The northern lights remind us that there's no guarantee, there's no guarantee. The northern lights remind us, the northern lights remind us. It's a beautiful and deadly universe, and everything that we hold dear depends on our next choice. For though we send our rockets up to land on planet Mars, or lie back on the hillside to admire the stars, the northern lights remind us with their shimmering towers how fortunate we are to have this earth of ours. And the home we share, the northern lights remind us, has water and air. The northern lights remind us that there's no guarantee, there's no guarantee. The northern lights remind us, the northern lights remind us, the northern lights remind us.
Yes.
Thank you. No kidding.
Going out of my mind here.
Well, something I saw today, there was a Dairy Queen somewhere around Waco that has a sign up that says, it's the eclipse, not the apocalypse. Relax.
Depends on who you are. Different people have different takes on that. The
You,
earthquake.
you
in New
know,
York.
you know how the sun cuts his hair? He
How?
clips it.
All right. Where's the rim shot when we need it?
Boo. Here's another Fox Run 5 song. And if I go away and spend the day in solitude, you're thinking you're to blame for my quiet mood, I promise you there's nothing that you have to do. It's just my way of learning you. And if I hold you to the fire for something you have said, and I want to talk it out before we go to bed, if I question why it is you do the things you do, it's just my way of learning you. I've made my mistakes, you've made yours too, but the one I'll never make is losing you. And if we should survive for 100 years on this roller coaster ride filled with joy and tears, oh, I promise you the only thing I'll ever find to see me through is being here and learning you. Being here and learning you.
Lovely.
Oh, so sweet. My heart is going, woo. I'm going to follow that with Not Such a Sweet Song. I wrote this after Uvalde. They got to change the gun laws someday. How do you sleep? How do you sleep at night? Don't you know? Don't you know wrong from right? How many more? How many more will die from your big fat lie? Your big fat lie sells weapons to kids. Your big fat lie points and shoots. Your big fat lie preaches it's not the guns. Oh, and the dollar signs spin in your head. When will you see? When will you see the light? How about that heart? Your heart must be hollow, maybe filled with spite. 'Cause how can you ignore? How can you ignore so many people have to say goodbye? Oh, from your big fat lie. Your big fat lie sells weapons to kids. Your big fat lie points and shoots. Your big fat lie preaches it's not the guns, and the dollar signs spin in your head. A wink and a nod. A wink and a nod, juice up your appetite. Oh, the money flows. The dollars bribe and they underwrite your well-financed campaign with few restrictions on carnage and fright. Oh, your big fat lie. Your big fat lie sells weapons to kids. Your big fat lie points and shoots. Your big fat lie preaches it's not the guns and the dollar signs spin in your head. I wanna know, I wanna know, I wanna know. How do you sleep? How do you sleep at night? Don't you know? Don't you know wrong from right? And how many more will die from your big fat lie? Your big fat lie.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Well, after that, I'm going to do something frivolous. I have no idea where this song came from. I will never know where this song came from. My daughter came out while I was writing it, and she said, "What's that?" And I said, "I don't know." Where are all the Gretas and Marlenas? And all the Mae Wests, where are they? No one tells the boys, come up and see me sometime. That's all out of style nowadays. Hey, but I still long for old-time steamy romance and satin gowns and stockings with seams and men that wear trench coats and fedora hats. I wish they'd bring that all back. 'Cause I wanna be a femme fatale. I wanna be a vamp. I wanna whistle like Bacall and have 'em all eating from my hand. They put me on a pedestal, competing for my glance. I wanna be a femme fatale. I wanna be a vamp. Though I am a liberated woman, sometimes I'd prefer to be a tease. And when I see those starlets with eyes come hither soft, I could pull that off, it seems to me. See? And men would buy me clothes and bring me jewelry and open doors and pull me out a seat and then stand by politely until I'd sit, enjoy my sparkling wit, a little risque repartee with a femme fatale. I wanna be a vamp. I wanna be the party doll that upsets all their other plans. I know it isn't fashionable, but it's so elegant. I wanna be a femme fatale. I wanna be a vamp. Dietrich and Davis, they had it made. Mansfield and Monroe, hey, where'd they all go? Well, the women we admire now in the movies are all doctors and lawyers and chiefs. They don't flutter their lashes or swing their hips. They don't pout their lips or sit on anyone's knee. And if they're in some older profession, they've all been reformed by Act 3. They've given up their cigarettes and champagne. I guess we've come a long way, but I sure miss the day of the femme fatale. I wanna be a vamp. I wanna give the boys the eye, call some guy my honey lamb. I'd have 'em all in a spell, I'd have 'em in a trance. If I was a femme fatale, I would be sensational. I wanna be a vamp. There. Thank you.
I think all the women I know have learned not to sit on guys' knees. I can't get them to sit on mine.
Ah, darn. You're born past your time.
Something happened.
Thank you for the picture, by the way. That's on the No, it's on the inside of this album where that song is.
Have you considered dressing like Santa Claus?
There
Oh
you go.
yeah, I do that every Christmas.
And they
And you
still
still
won't?
can't sit on your knee?
Not the women.
Maybe it's the gifts you're giving. Maybe you should re-examine the...
It might be my tone of voice.
Well, I can't answer for that. That could be. Yeah. I'm not going to continue on this line of thinking. All right. This is probably a 30-year-old song. Hattie and Mattie live downstairs from me. The same apartment since 1943. They've got embroidered pictures on the walls with quotes that no one said, and an autographed picture of Jesus Christ above their double bed. Well, there are two old ladies that can't be denied. Their matching aprons hide a wilder side, and they will tell you about Paris over countless cups of tea. Maybe you will get the clue, but at first it eluded me that they're the founding mothers of the revolution of mating with a blatant disregard for evolution. Lesbians extraordinaire, years before they cut their hair. 4 stories over all the pushing and the shoving. Hattie and Mattie got some brownies in the oven, sitting and knitting and loving their whole life through. All right, a little educational component to our song before I get any further with it, and that is, I do mention La Joconde in the next verse, and that is the Mona Lisa, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Mona Lisa. That is to what we are referring in French. Here we go. Now, Hattie and Mattie met through Gertrude Stein. Gertrude Stein, partying in Paris, high on hash and wine. And Hattie said, I'm fond of La Joconde and her strange and sexy style. So Mattie said, with eyes of red, I know what made her smile. And now Hattie and Mattie, they bake for everyone. Their brownies make our parties so much fun, 'cause it's a special recipe that they got from Alice B. So I should have known when I heard the groans, but it took me years to see that they're the founding mothers of the revolution of mating with a blatant disregard for evolution. Lesbians extraordinaire, years before they cut their hair. 4 stories over all the pushing and the shoving. Hattie and Mattie got some brownies in the oven, sitting and knitting and loving their whole life through. Now, that used to be the end of the song, but I just wanted to relay a little tale on how a third verse was written. And that third verse was written because I was singing this song at the Oregon Country Fair, and Holly Near approached me afterwards, and she said, can I sing your song? And I said, yes, you can sing my song. So Holly Near plays this at women's festivals all over the country, and I think that's fantastic. But so we were at one festival. We were at the Kate Wolf Festival north of San Francisco, and it was we were both at this festival, and it was the day after gay marriage was legalized in the Supreme Court in all 50 states. It was the day after, so there was all this, people were so happy, and there was all this celebration, and Holly Near was there, and I was singing the song, and then I went and saw Holly Near sing the song, and she was getting more applause than I was, and I was really upset about that because I felt, come on, that's not right. So I was like, well, how can I compete with this? So I went and I wrote another verse backstage, and I sang it at my next show. And here is that last verse. Hattie and Maddie put on their Sunday best. They caught an Uber to the courthouse steps. They took their place in line, and hand in hand they made the climb. They kissed and hugged, then Maddie shrugged and said, it's about frickin' time, 'cause they're the founding mothers of the revolution of mammary massaging and gentle gamma-hoosion. Lesbians extraordinaire, look it up, years before they cut their hair. 4 stories over all the pushing and the shoving. Hattie and Maddie got some brownies in the oven, sitting and knitting and loving their whole life through, 'cause that's what they do. Sitting and knitting, loving their whole life through. Why don't you bake me a brownie and I'll sing you a song.
Marvelous.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
The third verse was worth it.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Thank you.
Not quite certain why you would be upset to have Holly Near singing your song, but
No, I was just jealous that she was getting more applause than I was. I was like, come on, that's not right. I have low self-esteem. What am I going to do?
It's too bad you couldn't sing it with her.
in harmony.
Yeah.
In harmony.
But you know what? That third verse, like Rick said, was worth it.
Thank you.
It was. Ready for me? I live on the Wading River. I've been living on the river except for a few years, except for maybe 8 years or so since I was 3. Different houses along the river, but the dogs like to run there, and we have peach trees. I lost my dad a few years ago, and this was I wrote this one night when I was angry with him. Sorry, let me start it again. There we go. Sometimes I wish I was somewhere else when I'm sitting here with you. Spend a lot of time sitting here, and some days there's other things I'd rather do. But I know a day will come when you're not here, and I'll be sitting all alone in this house, and I'll be in tears. So until that day, I'll come by with my coffee in the morning. We'll argue over the president and if the world is really warming. And the dogs will run and the river will rise. And you and I will go out back and pick peaches in the September skies. September skies. September skies. And I'll still have those days when there's other things that I'd rather do. Chances are most of these days I'll be right here sitting with you. And we'll watch the dogs run and we'll watch the river rise. You and I will go out back and pick peaches in the September skies. September skies. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane. By the way, Rick Page wants you to know you sound great.
Oh, thank you so much, Rick. Thanks for listening to all of us.
He's over there in the Facebook version of this. Before we move on, before I move on, I wanted to mention that if any of our listeners don't have the chat open, they are missing part of the show. The most important part of which is the tip jar is over there in the chat. So if you'd like to put a little compensation in our pockets, that's where to find the means to do it. And to say hello to Marshall. And by the way, anybody who's watching on speaker view, I don't know why that's happening. So, and I consequently, I don't know how to fix it. So my apologies for whatever the problem is. It's Zoom's, not ours. And the moment has come to ask this burning question. So, Eric, where are you going to be next, and where can people find you online?
Oh, where am I going to be next? I am embarrassed to say I don't know that I have any gigs in the books right now. I've really just been concentrating on graduate school. I am doing one gig in the fall, a few days before the election, at the Burren, in Somerville, Massachusetts. It's going to be a politically tinged show, which is a duo show with a man named Renee Pfister, Pfister, and Renee is a brilliant theatrical writer. And very funny and very edgy, and we both push the same sorts of buttons. So that is the next show that I can think of, but that's not going to be until like late October. Other than that, you can find me at ericschwartz.com, and that's but the next time if you want to see me on stage, it will be as I walk up to receive my master's degree, and on May, 18th in Boston. So
that's just marvelous. Congratulations. I know that represents a lot of really hard work.
Yes, it does.
So Diane, same questions to you. Where are you going to be next, and where can we find you online? You're muted, sweetie.
Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to be at the North Reading Community Coffee House in North Reading on May 18th for Songwriters series. I think there's 5 of us that will be there. I don't really know who else is going to be there yet. So that's always fun. Run by Art Grossman. What a great man. Yep. And my website is my name, DianeBattistello.com. And I have some YouTube videos up as well.
And Diane has a new album out, which apparently she's too modest to tell you about, so go to her website. Our next show here in Austin is going to be at Kick Butt Coffee on Sunday the 14th. It'll be Scott Duncan and Alex Koba, both of whom are Texans. Scott's from San Antonio, and Alex is currently living in Houston. And I'm excited to have them. The next show online will be the 21st, and that is Paul Nye and Matt Harlan, who are also a couple of Texans. We got a few singer-songwriters around here. Rumor has it you can't swing a dead cat without hitting one. So, yeah, I mean, I haven't tried that, but, it's probably true. And you can find me at janseides.com, of course, where I have all 6 or 7 of my albums and jewelry made from my guitar strings, like this piece, cool, made by Kathy Miller of Love in Life Art. And I'm very proud of what she's come up with. I always knew you could do something with those guitar strings. I just didn't know what. So I'm going to do one that is also 30 years old. And I know that because we are about to celebrate our 32nd anniversary. So this was the song I wrote for us. And the other half of us is Andy, who is giving us suggestions about sound on occasion here. You can see the square you can't see anybody in. That's Andy. I know it isn't easy to smile when nothing goes the way that you plan. But baby, we've got love enough to last quite a while. So if there's rocky roads ahead, we'll just walk them hand in hand. And for years in the future, I can see us together. Nothing else matters, nothing else will do. How I got on before your love, I haven't a clue. I just want to spend my years in the future with you. I'll admit it's been a roller coaster ride, but the love we share has given me faith, and the joy of riding with you keeps me here by your side. So through all those convolutions, that's where I intend to stay. And for years in the future, I can see us together. Nothing else matters, nothing else will do. How I got on before your love, I haven't a clue. I just want to spend my years in the future with you. Every time I see an old man walking down the street, holding hands with the old woman by his side, I have to stop and smile because they look so sweet. I like to think that one day they will be you and I, because for years in the future I can see us together, and nothing else matters, nothing else will ever do. How I got on before your love, I haven't a clue. I just want to spend my years in the future with you.
Very sweet.
Thank you. Thanks, Andy.
That was very sweet. In order to counter that, okay, no. So, one of my very favorite songs is a very simple one, but it reaches the heart. You're familiar with Cindy Walker and Eddie Arnold's song that Ray Charles made famous. You give your hand to me, and then you say hello, and I can hardly speak. My heart is beating so, and anyone can tell. Think you know me well, but you don't know me. Just a gorgeous song. It's just simple. It's beautiful. Anyway, so I wanted to cover it, but I think it's important to personalize material. So this is my personal version of that song. I hope you enjoy it. You give your hand to me, and then you say hello, and that we've met before about 3 years ago. I claim to recognize, but it's a pack of lies, 'cause I don't know you. You say you got me stoned back at some festival, then you fell down a hill and lost a testicle. You think I'd remember it? It must have been great shit, 'cause I don't know you. I meet, I'd say, 50 folks a day, with all of the singing and playing I do. Each year I guess 5,000 more or less, so no offense. But would you remember you? You give your hand to me, and then you say goodbye. I slap you on the back, and I say love you, guy. And I reflect on how we'll meet 3 years from now, and I won't know you.
Well, I may not know you in 3 years.
That's great.
It's a horrible song. I apologize every time I sing it. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, it's funny. It's great.
It's great, and it's mostly the truth. I myself am face blind, so I have to pretend a lot.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting and a little uncomfortable.
Have you always had that?
You know, I have no way of knowing. But I have invited people to sit at our table with one in particular that looked just, I thought, like my friend Scott, who is a photographer. And about 10 minutes into his sitting at our table and enjoying the conversation and the music that was going on, I turned to Andy and I said,
That's not Scott.
"That's not Scott, is it?" And he went, "Nope, I was wondering who he was." And this is somebody I've known for years, by the way. You just got muted, Neil.
Never
Was that
mind.
on purpose?
No, I said it could have been worse. Could have said, "That's our dog," you know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That would have been worse, definitely.
That could get you into a lot of trouble, Jan. Not knowing faces. I wrote this after the start of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. In a perfect world, there'd be no harm, no babies dying in their parents' arms. We'd lay down the weapons, we'd stop the bombs, and we'd use words, not war. Deep roots of anger from seeds of hate. What is the answer? What is the fate? The world is spinning on its edge, but it's not too late if we choose words, not war. Well, I've heard it said, the point of war is to gain a stable peace. What a cruel and painful premise, and the anguish does not cease. The profiteers and politicians, they look the other way. They're busy counting all their assets from the war machines. They remind us all to pray. Don't forget to pray to stop the war. In a perfect world, there'd be no greed and everyone would have all the things they need. We come to terms on a moral creed, and we choose words, not war. We choose words, not war. We choose words, not war. Thank you.
You know, I read just this morning that the only time that that the world has seen so far, anyway, an effect on humanity and the way things were going militarily, there was an eclipse, and it stopped both sides because it was back in ancient times and they didn't expect it. And it caused them to talk out their issues rather than shoot them out, because clearly the heavens were not happy. It's too bad we're all educated now. On that and so many other fronts. I'm going to do one that was written by myself and Jen Cass, who lives in Michigan. I was driving to a place called Coffeyville, which you might know about. It's a town, basically, that hires, well, it's the community college that hires musicians to spend a week there singing for the college and for a local high school and a whole bunch of retirement communities. It takes all week. It pays decently. And so a lot of us take them up on it. The place is Coffeyville, and it's in Kansas, and I was driving to Kansas the day after the Coventry school shooting, and all the flags were at half-mast. Normally, when flags are at half-mast, I either have forgotten whom it's for, or I seek to find out. This time, I knew who it was for, and it pissed me off. And so the next place I stopped, I posted on Facebook, this is what I'm looking at. They might as well leave them all that way if they're not going to do anything about the problem. And a couple weeks later, Jen sent me these lyrics, and I was very impressed and wrote back to congratulate her, and she said, well, it was your idea. So I said, well, in that case, can I set it to music? And she said yes, and so I did, and we both liked the results, and this is the result. Flags above my country are at half-staff once again, and we're burying our children and their teachers and their friends. Hey, law enforcement got him, and he only murdered 10. So the flags above my country are at half-staff once again. Flags above my country are at half-staff every day, and the folks who hold the power seem to have nothing to say. They just send their thoughts and prayers up to protect the NRA. So the flags above my country are at half-staff every day. Why not leave the flags at half-staff? It'll save us all some time. We can cut right to the part where we claim this is God's design. As we scroll the names and faces that were cut down in their prime. Flags above my country should be upside down today. To life and property cannot be prayed away, and no good guy with a gun can stop a nation gone astray. So the flags above my country should be upside down today.
Oh, wow. I love that.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. So I often wonder, am I having any effect on the things I care about? And I'm one small voice, you know? I do the best I can.
People that are hearing our songs tend to agree with us. So
That's the truth.
it's a tough thing to find a way of expressing something that actually can make somebody else think about it. That
It's a small circle of people all nodding at each other.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, I've written a bunch of political tunes, and they do real well with people who agree with me. But they come from a place of anger generally, and F you, like that's where they're coming from. It's something that I feel the need to express, but it doesn't mean that it's actually doing any good.
Well, it could be eye-opening to somebody else who, somebody who doesn't really have a strict position on something. You could persuade. You can use your music to persuade change.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's the best we can hope for.
I have a song that is so kind of judgmental and angry that I don't play it much, but I really like it.
Play it now.
Shall I? Should I play
Yeah,
it now?
please do.
All right. Okay. Why not? Let's do that. I just actually need to find something that because it is there's something about the lyrics to this song. When I get to the list at the end, I can't remember the lyrics, so I've got them here, so I can actually do it. All right. Nice hat, bright red, recycled Nazi slogan emblazoned on your head. Wait a minute, let me check. Unless I'm mistaken, that's a cross around your neck, but that's for a lover, and the hat's for a liar. They go together like holy water and hellfire. Well done. Nice move, but I've got a hard time believing that your Jesus would approve. So if you held your tongue while 45 made fun of prisoners of war, as he lined his cronies' pockets while abandoning the poor, if he put those kids in cages and you showed no opposition, you can call yourself a trumper, but don't you call yourself a Christian. Well, that Bible on your shelf, have you read it? Part about loving your neighbors and giving aid to strangers. Well, I hear you love the guy that said it, and I hear that he loves you, but he loves all sinners too, so don't feel special. It wasn't earned. You could not fill up a Dixie cup with everything you've learned. Well, you can call yourself American, yeah, that's understood. You can call yourself Republican, though I don't know why you would. You can call yourself pro-life while abandoning the living. You can call me a sick heretic, but don't you call yourself a Christian. Well, you say that you're God-fearing. Well, I'd fear it too if I believed in him and I behaved like you. trumpeting your righteousness and casting every stone and worshiping a golden calf on his golden throne. If you bear a girl who has a child, and that child grows up in poverty because assistance is denied, and she comes home one sunny day, goes to school, has to hide out in the closet thanks to the NRA, then she runs home choking on the air because the EPA's been gutted by the gutter billionaire who abuses his authority, sows hatred of minorities, steals from his own charities, defrauds his university, brags about adultery, lies to you relentlessly, conducts treasonous diplomacy, threatening our democracy, takes infinite emoluments and weaponizes ignorance, glorifies his decadence and ridicules intelligence and undermines the sciences, invalidates alliances, advocating violence and destroying the environment, demonizes immigrants, puts crosshairs on our journalists, defends the white supremacists and helps the ISIS terrorists. He's a rapist and a traitor and a racist and a bully and a narcissist, misogynist, and this is just a partial list. And if all of that's okay with you, then listen. There just might be a message you've been missing. Until you make compassion your mission, don't call yourself a Christian.
Wow.
Oh my God, Eric.
That
I
is-
am so glad you did that.
Thank you.
every
You'll find us nodding.
Yeah, really.
Exactly. Yeah. Hello, choir. Yes.
Not to mention, what a well-crafted song. Nice
Yes.
work.
No, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Every radio station needs to be playing that.
And I assume Claudia is very proud of her son.
Claudia is very proud of her son. I just texted her, by the way. The reason why they're not here anymore is because Mom, I don't think she realized that people can see her while she's seeing us, and she was kind of moving around and doing stuff and talking to my sister-in-law and, hi, Mom, I think Mom's back. Anyway, so I texted, and it was like, ahem. So that's what happened. But hi, Mom, I see you're back. Hello. You turned off your...
She was there. I just
She was there.
turned off the non-video.
Oh, you just turned off the Mom video. Good. All right. Hi, Mom. I'm glad you're still here. I was like, no, she left, but she didn't leave. Hi. All right.
Yeah.
Good. All right, good.
I'm glad she's still here, too.
Me too.
Um,
Yeah, she's very proud of me.
Yeah. Well, on that song alone.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a great song. I'd like to get a copy of that. Do you have it on your website or somewhere?
If you Google Google the title, it'll pop up on YouTube.
Okay.
And the title is?
Don't call yourself a Christian.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be sharing
And if
that.
it doesn't, get in touch, and I will get that. Anyway.
Okay. I wrote it down. I'm going to
I
share.
think that image that I've got there says it better than the one I had up while you were singing it.
Truth.
Truth over lies.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. Nice. Jan, you're muted.
Yes, I'm supposed. Oh, am I next? I'm not next. Diane
I
is-
guess I'm next, right?
Yes.
Never mind. Okay.
So, apart from growing up on this river and being here all my life, I did run away for a few years to Lake Champlain, so I was still on the water. And this is my song from Lake Champlain and my friends that I met there. I lived on an island in the Green Mountains once. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, hold on. 1, 2, 3, breathe. I lived on an island in the Green Mountains once, in an old farmhouse. Where'd the song go? You ever say, I know that song so well, I don't have to practice it anymore, right? I lived on an island in the Green Mountains once, in an old farmhouse with some friends. We had to drive across the sandbar and go 40 miles to town, 40 miles home across the sandbar again. We go fishing in the morning, swimming at noon. In the evening you could find us out 'neath the silvery moon, telling tales of days gone by and talking about dreams that lie ahead. Oh, what a lazy life we led. There were days in the garden, some days we just read. Did not take long for us to forget the ways of the 8 to 5 o'clock working days. 'Cause we'd be fishing in the morning, swimming at noon. In the evening you could find us out 'neath the silvery moon, telling tales of days gone by and talking about dreams that lie ahead. Yeah, we'd be fishing in the morning, swimming at noon. In the evening you could find us out 'neath the silvery moon, telling tales of days gone by and talking about dreams that lie ahead. Well, many a year has come and gone since then. We've all moved on to other friends. Yet often I sit out in the evening sun, look back at that house in the Green Mountain fun. See, I never go fishing in the morning or swimming at noon, though sometimes you can catch me in a silvery moon. I'll tell you my tales of days gone by, and I always get Green Mountain blue. I'll tell you my tales of days gone by, and I always get Green Mountain blue.
Oh,
Thank you.
that's beautiful.
Thanks.
Well, the subject of the Bible came up not only today, but last night as well. And I had my most recent project, though not my most recent song, has been an album called Unsung. And it's all the stories from the Bible that you didn't get to hear because nobody asked them. And it was all Old Testament because I grew up Jewish and that's what I know about. Although I have to say that the research I did for this project opened my eyes to a whole lot of things I was unaware of, and it was very entertaining and very illuminating as far as its effect on our current culture, because even my 3-year-old, who'd basically never been out of the house, knew the story of Adam and Eve. This is so part of our culture that we don't even think about it. But just before I declared the project finished, I ran across the Gnostic Gospels, the one of Mary Magdalene, that they had just released to the public after years and years of study. If you don't know about the Gnostic Gospels, they're the Gospels that were found in the Nag Hammadi caves in Egypt, where they'd been stashed to avoid having them destroyed when the powers that be decided what should be in the Bible and what should not. Apparently, these stories were deemed not worthy. But I have to say, when I read the translation of the Mary Magdalene Gospel, it was so right up my alley that I had to write a song for it, and the song practically wrote itself. And this is it. Never walked the streets, and I'm glad of that. Never washed his feet, but I wish I had. I was a woman who believed, and so I followed. Stayed by his side, learned all I could. He was my guide, and it was good. Then he was crucified. Still I followed. You know who I am. My name is Mary. I was part of his plan. I was part of his story. I loved the man. I loved his truth. I loved his spirit. And so I followed. Here's what he said: love is the way. He loves us yet, though some would say he was conquered by death. But I still followed. You know who I am. My name is Mary. I was part of his plan. I was part of his story. I loved the man. I loved his truth. I loved his spirit. And so I followed. They asked me to tell what I'd learned, but wouldn't believe what I had to say. Their envy simmered and burned, and once he was gone, they cast me away. But I still felt his grace. My name is Mary. I was part of his plan. I was part of his story. I loved the man. I loved his truth. I loved his spirit. That's why I followed. I love the man. I love his truth. I love his spirit. And so I followed.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow.
So we have 2 more songs. Oh, and by the way, hello to Lisa and Deb and Jay. And let's see who else. Who did I miss? Bernice. Bernice was here for a little bit.
Hello to all those people. So I'm calling an audible and being extremely presumptuous, inviting my dear friend Neil so that we can actually play a song together, the Fox Run 5, because Neil's just sitting here being the engineer, but Neil's a great songwriter in his own right. So I am going to have Neil sit here, and I'm going to sit over here, and I'm going to play the guitar.
Marvelous.
And perfect. All right.
Yeah. Great.
All right.
So I'll need
Oh,
those.
you need these?
Well, I don't need them. Actually, I don't need them.
You don't
Doesn't
need 'em?
matter. No, I don't need them. We're just going to sit here and
It's
play
acoustic.
together.
All right. How does it start?
Da-da-da-da. Well, I've been dodging bullets all my life, and wondering where my lucky streak would end. Well, I've been playing fast and loose with time, making moves that I could not defend, and not knowing if the sun is gonna rise. Never trusting nothing I ain't seen with my own eyes. But finally now, fate has come to call, and I'm lying here and trying to make some sense of it all. Please forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Sweet Saint Peter, please just let me in. This is where Matt and Nicole would be playing a blistering lead right now. There we go. Saint Peter, you're an awful lot like me. Living in the dark and searching for the light, but other friends he guided us to see. Could a wanderer like me find redemption in your sight? Please forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Sweet Saint Peter, please just let me in. Please just let me in. I'll never come around if you press me down.
Go right into the chorus.
Oh, sweet forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Sweet Saint Peter, please just let me in. Please just let me in. Please just let me in.
Yeah.
Bit of a train wreck, but we didn't rehearse it all.
Wonderful.
I don't know if you noticed, but my T-shirt says, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned."
Oh, I like that. Neil, you have to see this. Look at the T-shirt.
What's that?
Look at the T-shirt. Nice.
That's funny.
Yes, I like that.
Rick, you're so
Yeah.
quick with those.
Yeah, he is. Quick and right on the money.
Yeah. Oh, me?
Yep.
So I write a lot of seasonal songs. I sing a lot. I sing them a lot, and then I put them away for a few months. So this is one about trees without the leaves on them. It's called Naked Trees. I got the idea, or I every now and then you just get like a few lines pop into your head, and then you go home and say, what do I do with this, right? So I was walking my dog one day, and I was just looking at the trees, and they look like people, you know. Some of them are tall, some of them are wider, some of them are short, and they have little faces in the branches, and I don't know. So this is my song called Naked Trees. I like to look at the naked trees after the leaves have fallen down. They remind me of all different people. Some are tall, some are short, some are round. I like the one on Sandlin Road. The branches make a beautiful face. This one here's got big strong arms for a loving embrace. Naked trees, they bend and sway when the winds of change blow so strong. I like to watch them twist and turn as they bow into the storms. Do they shake their limbs in fury? Are they dancing to a song unsung? I'll never know, but it pleases me so that they stand so tall when the storms are done. Oh, 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 oh. I walk outside in the naked trees almost every night. I like it best when the moon is full on nights like tonight. I go there seeking comfort after a long and weary day. I stand beneath the naked trees and I look up to them. I look up and I say, oh, 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 oh. Sometimes when the wind is just right, if I listen real close, I think I can hear those trees calling back to me. They go, oh, 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 oh. Thank you. Thanks.
This was a weird image. It's a real naked tree.
It's cool.
It was under some heading that said weird and wonderful, and you can actually see more of it. It looks more like a person the more you see.
Yep.
How interesting.
Yeah, it does look like a person.
One of the things that a friend of mine who is a zoologist pointed out to me is if there's a good design, nature uses it more than once. So maybe that has to do with that. I do have songs about trees. Not one of them can I remember right at the moment. So I'm going to change the subject because I can. This is new-ish. It has to do with a conflation of images, one of which was a singer-songwriter named Flamey Grant, who showed up at Swerfa this year and was amazing and fascinating. Yeah. I expected the flamboyance and I expected the stage presence. What I did not expect was the depth of the songs. So that was a wonderful surprise, and she was utterly compelling. She's trans, and that got me to thinking about the Drag Queen Story Hour ruckus that is It's not exactly current right now because we have other fish to fry, but it is current in a general sort of way. And I remember things that I saw. I have, my memory goes back to 18 months, nothing important, just stuff that happened. But all those children who are not going to have this experience as a result. And that just made me sad. So I wrote this song. Lady Indigo takes her stage. Marmalade shadows dance on the walls. Before her a cluster of curious eyes, flickering fireflies wait for her call. Lady Indigo turns to them slowly, her velvet-gloved hands gather the light. Silver feathers flash, the walls disappear, and her story takes flight. And it's beautiful and brave, full of fancy disguise, glances and sighs, dances that last through the night. Beautiful and brave, but story hours over. Lady Indigo paints brilliant hues, seducing you with dazzling charm. Mortals venture where they're not meant to, but somehow get sent to each other's arms. Lady Indigo in red satin and pearls shares a world teeming with treasure. Amid ominous rumblings, her hero so strong, add a song for your listening pleasure. And it's beautiful and brave, audacious and rash, courageous and dashing, their mettle proved in the fire. Beautiful and brave, but story hours over. And after the show, as you go to your home, her enchanting whisper remains, and it's beautiful and brave, full of fancy disguise, glances and sighs, dances that last all night. Beautiful and brave, beautiful and brave, beautiful and brave, but story hours over. Thank you. So we are on our last round. It's okay if we overstay our welcome a little bit because nobody's waiting for the stage.
Okay. Well, I'll play it. I'll play it very quickly. It's a ballad, but I'll play it bluegrass. All right. So I like to end my shows with the song. It's the title track from a record of mine, because it's all about forgiveness, and chances are I've offended everybody in the audience at some point. So this way I sing a song about forgiveness, and I kind of guilt them into forgiving me. That's the whole, purpose of the song. So I hope you enjoy it. There is one whom I have wronged, and he looks at me angrily. This bothers me. No matter what I do, I I offer my apologies, but always ignores my pleas. But I ask myself what the better man would do. Well, he would forgive me, so well, I'll forgive me too. There've been so many times that I have felt so low, I would rather die than look at me from someone else's view. And always there were those who would gladly tell me that I'm no good. But I ask myself what the better man would do. He would love me, so well, I will love me too. Well, I've been ashamed of the life that I've been living. So take my hand, tell me I'm forgiven. So if you're walking down the street, you see a soul who's in defeat, don't you pass her by, no matter what you do. 'Cause sister, don't you understand that when you lend a helping hand, well, the person you really help is you. Love your neighbor, and well, she will love you too. If you do things a better man would do.
Wonderful.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Everybody needs a little gossip.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm gonna bounce off of that with a song about friendship, and this song is called Hey My Friend. It was written by my good friend Junko Ogawa. She wrote it for Martin Luther King Day for a tribute. Hey, my friend, was so nice of you. Hey, my friend, give me a helping hand when I was down, when I could not stand on my feet alone. Hey, my friend, how is your family? Hey, my friend, heard you had some troubles. Won't you let me know? It's got to be something I can do for you. If you have courage to show you care, you will find kindness on your way. Everybody's born with a heart to care. Everybody lives to love and share. My friend, hey, my friend. Hey, my friend, we both want to be happy. Hey, my friend, we've both been hurt before. So you see, we're the same, we're so much more the same than different. If you have courage to show you care, you will find kindness on your way. Everybody's born with a heart to care. Everybody lives to love and to share, my friend. Hey, my friend. Hey, my friend. Thank you, June, for having me be part of the show. I enjoyed being here today.
Thank you for the lovely songs.
Thank you.
So this last one is another one with multiple inputs. It had to do with the Japanese art of, I think it's called kintsugi. And the idea is if you break something, you can glue it together with glue infused with gold. And if anything, it ends up being even more lovely than it was before it broke. And also with the Leonard Cohen quote about everything is cracked, that's how the light gets in. I'm pretty sure that's how the light gets out, too. All the lessons you learned are gold. All the scars where you healed are strong. You may once or twice have been broken, but you've done nothing wrong. All the outcomes that didn't match, all your plans and all your dreams, all the beauty you think you lack is ablaze for all to see. 'Cause your light shines through, your light shines through. It's what makes you, you. And the cracks are there, so your light shines. Your light shines. All the obstacles in your path, all the trials you rose above, all those faults that you think you have, they are why you are loved. 'Cause your light shines through, your light shines through. It's what makes you, you. And the cracks are there, so your light shines. Your light shines, it's true. You are not perfect, but no one is perfect, and that matters so much less than you'd expect. 'Cause your light shines through, your light shines through. It's what makes you, you. And the cracks are there, so your light shines. Your light shines. Your light shines through. Your light shines through. It's what makes you, you. And the cracks are there, so your light shines. Your light shines through. Thank you.
That's lovely.
Thank you, Diane, for being part of this and saying yes when I asked. And Eric. Oops.
And thank you very much to both of you. This was a real pleasure to swap.
It was
Thank
great. It was
you.
great.
Really enjoyed
Nice
it.
to meet you,
Thank
Rick.
you for being here. I so love it when people respond that they want to do this. And Mark, your turn's coming up. Just so you know. Yeah. It's been wonderful. I hope everybody's enjoyed it as much as I have. And we will be back on the 21st with Paul Nye and Matt Harlan, who I'm sure everybody is going to love. Are those 3 fingers, Rick?
Yes, 3 fingers, and they're the hug. The one in the middle is hugging the other 2.
Ah,
The
yeah,
hands
I thought
around
it was like the Girl Scout thing.
No, it's like he's hugging it. It's friends.
Ah, cool. And Janet, thank you for staying up late for us again. Janet is north of Tel Aviv by just a few miles. So we have an international audience. And thank you for remembering, Janet, because this is not the normal day. So can we all uncloak to say goodbye, and I'll stop the stream and the recording? Oops. There.
Hi.